bunch of marketers at Avalanche. Clever bunch of marketers.
Does my face look squidgy and fat?
No. What are you doing?
Jacob left the aircon on all night.
So now you're
Warming up, it's so cold.
do some star jumps.
Actually, I'm wondering what the temperature in here right now is.
Probably 16 degrees, which is what you left the aircon on at last night.
Well, I'm
Now
not
it's brisk and we're all getting
whatever
really
you
motivated
are.
and not at all far too cold to work effectively.
It's really cold.
Coffee, Dom?
Alright, then finish that one, but yeah, okay. Thanks.
What
It's
about
good
me?
service in here.
Would you like a drink, Lucy? You don't want a hot drink, we did this earlier.
You're back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How was your holiday?
Yeah, that's great, mate.
There's a really good impression
What's it like being back in the
of
office?
Cold.
He'll never do it on camera.
How's your week going? What have you been up to?
Just catching up with things. And that's it, really. Just a lot of catch up.
I have it on good authority that your fans have really missed you. Have you got anything to say to them?
Don't follow me.
You hate it, don't you?
How you doing, man?
Morning, mate. How's it going?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
You having a good day?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Just digging into some work. Been actually listening to podcasts in the morning, which I'm finding a really valuable tool to
Okay.
kind of maximise my time. So obviously, we're digging through client work in the morning. We're working on accounts, but there's no reason instead of listening to some music, I've actually been putting on some podcasts. So at the minute, I'm listening to James Altucher show. Shout out to James Altucher. Yeah, I find that really valuable. It's kind of like being in a conversation. But not
And
having to
what's
talk.
the podcast about?
So this one is all about kind of like how people at the top, like for example, celebrities or politicians, use kind of hidden methods of persuasion to get themselves to where they want to be. So it's really interesting. It's interesting to get a perspective on things that kind of go a bit deeper than what you see on the outside. Like a lot of these guys, they're in the positions that they are because they put a lot of thought and a lot of work into how they can actually communicate with people and how they can create a reputation and kind of their own brand name, if you like. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting. But just stuff like that, man. Like listening to podcasts and audiobooks. I think it's a good little tip for whatever job you're in. If you've got kind of some deep work to be doing, there's no reason you can't just whack it on in the background. And yeah. So
Smart move, man.
if you're not getting more intelligent, you're getting dumber. So that's what I'd say.
Good lad. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Thanks, man.
So are you happy with it?
Good morning.
Morning, mate.
Well, not
How's life?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good.
You are now officially a graduate as well, I hear.
I am, yes.
How was it yesterday?
It was good fun. It was good fun. Nice sunny, rainy Swansea, which is always really good fun.
It's always rainy over there, isn't it?
It is. I think it's the UK's rainiest city, but I'm convinced it has better weather than people think. I like it. But yeah, back to the grind today. Got my podcast rolling here. Shout out to Tim Ferriss. There's a good little plug for Tim Ferriss. 247. Cool tips for travelling. It is. So yeah. Preferring that to music at the moment whilst working.
Yeah, it seems to be a podcast theme going on in the office at the moment. Everyone's getting in on that.
We've all bonded over the podcast recently.
How's your week going?
Yes, good. It's pretty packed. We had some really good music clients today, so it's that's always a good start when clients have lots of leads, happy phone calls. So yeah,
Good
all
stuff.
good.
Fucking shop. Yeah? What
Yeah,
do they do in a minute?
they do a lot and it's all fragmented. So they got their PR in one place, their graphic design in another place, their social media in another place. So we basically just said like let's unify it.
Nice.
But it was a great call and it really highlighted the value of providing value on social media. As the guy literally just read a couple of Scott's articles and was like, usually I ignore someone like you, but I clicked on your page, I saw you're active, I saw you're actually trying to provide value.
Perfect. And I said that's a
it
huge
was
part of what
such
we
a
do in
huge
permission based and trigger, and he said, oh, we understand that vision and idea and we want to potentially set up another meeting, which we're going to do. We'll send him another email now and be like, come to Bicester, because he does a lot of shopping there.
Nice.
So
meet him in the outlet.
we're going to meet him for a coffee, I think. And see where it
Meet
goes.
at Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, just go try some.
So Scott, that was a guy that he had been looking on your personal LinkedIn and the content that you'd been writing.
So what we do is we use SalesNav to go and find these people. So I found him. He's obviously a very high profile character, doesn't really engage with anyone he doesn't need to. But as long as the profiles show value and interest, then that's someone he wants to be connected with. So he saw some of my articles, the sales one I wrote yesterday and some pharma ones I've done, and he liked it. And it's really good from our point of view as well to see that, Trigger Marketing works. Writing these articles, we don't just do it for fun, we do it for a reason. And it just shows that by building your brand and building yourself and a digital persona online, you can, make some very, very profitable conversations out of it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well done, boys. Good effort.
Tag team.
Cam,
Can I
just reply to that Tinder message.
yeah.
Is that actually what it is?
Don't put that.
It's £5 if you don't want that going in the vlog.
So Tinderless.
Hey, stud.
Hey.
How's it going, mate?
Decent, how are you, man?
Very well. I'm told to come and talk to you. I hear you're having a good week.
Well, it's been a good week in many, many senses, but today we actually, we was on a client's account, Gary's, long-standing client of Avalanche, great guy, met him at BEF, and basically I found out that we've got him 18 leads in 1 month.
Mate, that's awesome.
18 leads. And 4 of those have been booked as CODs. And if he signs 2 clients, that actually works out as something like a 1,400% return on ROI. So absolutely incredible. And it just goes to show as well that consistently working on coaches' accounts every day, consistently sending out those messages, getting those contents out, getting into the right target market, it pays dividends and it works. And it's all down to the hard work and dedication of the team as well. It's not just one person managing the account. It's a unified effort, and I'm just really happy with the way his account's going. So,
what have you put on?
I'm a gummy bear.
What on earth is that?
I'm a gummy bear.
hi guys. So, basically, as you probably know by now, the whole of the Avalanche team are quite heavily invested in a stock called Pernix Therapeutics Holdings, and basically it's a biotech company that produce 3 core drugs, so it's Trexamit, Cylnor and Zohydro. They've all shown to have significant value to the marketplace in terms of how they can help a lot of patients across the country, in terms of defeating diseases and really making sure that people's lives with diseases are extended. So really, really interesting sector, pharma, and that's why I really wanted to continue that story today, because as you saw from last week's vlog, there was a lot of hype and a lot of depressing moments and a bit of anxiety because of the news that was released last week. Now, if we just go back to that news, there was a couple of points I wanted to retouch upon. Firstly, the first PR that was released was really positive. They refinanced their debt, which means that because of a new partner, they've been able to swap their debt for equity, which means that PTX now is pretty much safe until 2019 in terms of cash flow. So that eliminates the short theses of bankruptcy, and it just shows that this company is worth something to at least the financial institutions. That's why they've continued trading, because of agreeing to this new agreement. So that's been eliminated, and from an investor's point of view, that's great news. Debt refinance means that the company is solid, for at least for the short term. So I think there's a lot of value to be had from the refinancing agreement. But alongside that as well, they released their second quarter results, which were dismal. So I think all 3 top line products were down year on year. They were down Q on Q as well. So it's not really great to see, because obviously what you want to see in a company from an investor's point of view is sales increasing, costs decreasing, and obviously the margins getting higher. So whilst a really important point here is as well that even though revenues were down or not where we expected them to be, the margins did improve. So for a company that, you know, could potentially be bought out, the acquiring company wants to look for bigger margins, because if you have bigger margins, then you can make more profit on the products in less quantity to sell. So we found that gross margins are between 70 and 80% now, which is perfect for a sort of company like this, of this size, and that the EBITDA figure has actually increased sequentially quarter on quarter. So I think it depends what kind of perspective you look at PTX. I think if you're looking for short-term buyout kind of theses, then I think it's great because they got the margins and the EBITDA, and selling goods and administration costs are down, and I think it's really set himself up for a nice buyout here, in theory. But obviously, one thing I've learned from investing over the last sort of 10 months or so is to never really take anything for granted. You know, last Thursday we were expecting the stock to pop like 100, 150%, but it didn't. And I think that hit some of that team hard, and especially me, because I've been so adamant on PTX being, you know, this wonder stock that's going to make everybody rich. So that was a key learning. But just coming back to PTX as well, I've learned that through an 8K they released last week that they've actually split the company into 4 separate companies now. So they got Company 1, Company 2, Company 3, Company 4. And by splitting that, they've actually put Trexamit into Company 1, Zohydra into Company 2, Cylon into Company 3, and then the subsidiary pharmacies like Macrovon Pharmaceuticals into Company 4. So when we're trying to address the debt problem that PTX has, Sedo has actually positioned these products into different companies now. So one theory is that GSK or Teva or Johnson & Johnson could come along and say, right, I want Company 1 and 2, sell those off, pay the debt, and go forward debt-free with, you know, amazing drugs like Zohydra still left. So look, I think there's a lot more opportunity still in the stock. I think the story's not over yet. And tonight they actually have a conference call at 9:30 p.m. UK time. So I'll be around Jacob's house with the boys and a bottle of whiskey, getting ready for that. But I think it's a very, very good stock, and it's substantially undervalued, and I think it holds significant upside potential. Just to comment away from that as well, yesterday there was actually a financial analyst downgraded the stock, which means that the bank, or the analyst that represents the bank, has actually indicated that they think that the stock is not a sell anymore, it's a strong sell. They have a lot more insight and financial knowledge than me, but I still disagree with them. So what we have to do is just wait for tonight, and I'll report back tomorrow morning, and we'll see how well it's gone. But overall, I think, you know, there is fear here, but Warren Buffett says be greedy when others are fearful, and that's exactly what we're being here at Avalanche, and hopefully we're going to see some great returns. So good afternoon. It's been another roller coaster of an evening. I sat up looking at charts and graphs and numbers until about midnight last night, but all for good reason, because I still think that PTX is going to be a dynamite of a stock. So just coming back to what actually happened then. So over the last 18 months there's been a huge rumour about the company being bought out, and with good reason as well. They've got great products, sales are trickling up, and I think the margins have significantly improved, and I think there's a lot of profitability to be had, but not quite just yet. So if you think about it, we're on a cliff. If the cliff is profit, we are literally right by the cliff. So we just need a little push and a little more patience, and I'm sure we'll get there. But in terms of the bio theory, it's not going to happen anymore. I think even though the company was split into 1, 2, 3 and 4, like I said yesterday, I think Sedo's got a different plan for it. I think he's going to actually, instead of sell assets, he's actually going to buy some, which is really interesting to see that kind of turnaround in the company so quick and so efficient as well. Selling goods and administration costs down, which is really good, so it costs less to actually produce the products. The biggest indicator for me of the turnaround was the EBITDA figure, minus 1.4 million this time last year. Yesterday, the figure was 6.8 million, so that is an absolutely incredible achievement to achieve in such a short space of time, and it shows that the company is well positioned now going forward, and there is value to be had here. And I think even people who are bearish on the stock are just going to look back today and say, you know, there is actually something in the works here. So again, with EBITDA up and SG&A down, margins are up, and he mentioned something on the call about a mystery investor. Now, we don't actually know who this mystery investor is. It could be an institutional investor, it could be a private investor. But if we look at the history of PTX, a guy called Steve Cohen was an investor in PTX. He had a large position. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone like him, of his stature and his reputability, came into PTX and bought another chunk. And on that basis, we would see a jump in the share price. So what Cedar actually said yesterday was, now going forward he has a 2-year business development plan, and with that plan what he's going to use is the refinance that happened last week. He's going to use the money that's now available to PTX in a revolving credit facility, and he's going to use that money to buy companies that he thinks is undervalued and that can hold and streamline a lot of value and profitability for PTX moving forward. So also with that money as well, you got 2 products there, Silanor and Zohydro. With that money, you could either buy the license to take Silanor over the counter, which would expand the market hugely, or the other way he could go about it is actually using that money to upgrade Zohydro to a new anti-abuse deterrent label. So there's a lot of things to be taken in, to be fair, even for a retail investor like me. But look, I think the fundamentals of the company are great. I think they're in a strong position with in terms of leadership with Cedar, Graham and all the rest of the guys on the team. And I think, if we check back to 12, 18 months time, I think we're going to be in a lot better position than we are in today. So that's investing for you, and that's an update on how PTX has performed over the last year.
Oh, thank God, my arms were killing me towards the end. I was like, Jesus.
I like best friend.
Can we start now?
Can we not get my manky burger plate in?
That's what we had for lunch. What do we have for lunch, Lucy?
We have a burger.
Look at that. She has devoured it.
I did. Not gonna lie.
Right,
That's what you tend to do
move
with
your
lunch.
burger then.
Pardon?
Move your burger then.
Well, no, I'm not moving it. You just got to dodge it.
Okay, I've dodged it. Okay, Lucy, how's your week been?
If I could describe my week, it was easy peasy lemon squeezy without Josh here.
Oh, okay. Jacob, how's your week been?
My week's been difficult, lemon difficult. It's been a tough one.
Oh, that's bad.
But Josh is back on Monday. We've managed to get through an entire 2 weeks, nearly, without anything burning down.
Except the aircon was left on.
Except someone left the aircon on a number of times.
Believe it or not, I'm
So-
the operations director.
Your interim CEO.
My light's not on.
Let's stay on task, people.
So we apologise for the massive heating bill, or cooling bill, that we'll now get. But overall, it's been a phenomenal 2 weeks. The business has continued to grow. We put some great sales in, and everyone has given 100%. It's been difficult balancing it with holidays. Difficult, lemon difficult, some would say. But we've done it, and it's been great fun.
Have you missed him?
I have missed him.
Can you confirm or deny the rumours that you and Josh are lovers?
That bit cannot go in the vlog, because I cannot deny it.